Alrighty, TGIF, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And to some, it's almost Saturday, or it is already Saturday. So that's pretty cool. Let's see what's going on today. What is happening now? Oop, let's go like that. And then we go like that. There we go. I can see the charts. I can hear me yakking away. Life is good. All right. And you can see the Swiss. I can't believe it. Look at that on our Chicago quant chart. Look at it climb. It's up past that range that we had been watching for, I don't know, months upon months upon months. And then finally broke the range right here. Let's put a little arrow on it, like right there. And we thought, okay, maybe they're going to do something. They took it down into the low, not only the low 80s, but right underneath it, and now here we are at the back up at the other end of the range again, and that's that interest rate thing, going on. Look at that. So that was that range we watched for, I guess, back to July of last year, and then it finally broke down in December here, or December of this year, or last year, that is, and now it's climbed all the way back up again. That's in many ways I was, saying, over and over again, I thought that the dollar couldn't go too far. Boy, it didn't go far anywhere, did it? The only thing that's really holding up when it comes to the dollar is the where's it at? Is the cable. The cable's one of those that have been pretty firm, as you can see it right there. Now, there is the, where is it? That's a weekly of the what a move that is, huh? That's a weekly of the Swiss dollar pairs trade. Wow. Isn't that something? So, hey, Robin. TGIF. So there we are. You can see now the cable, like I said, look at it. Cable's flirting with, let's show you there on Chicago Quant. You see it's flirting with the weekly at the moment. Just that. Not like, just flirting in the sense that it's coming down to the time manifold. And but you can see still it's going to stay in weekly buy, even with all this pressure for the last week and a half. It's still holding the lows. It's even holding that low right there. And then when you go take a look at Euro, you see they've taken out these lows. So it's just overall the dollar is going to be firm, even with anything that's going on in the States. It's still going to be firm, and it's not going to just disappear in a sense of like they're going to start selling dollars. It's more of a fantasy. It's more like a political propaganda thing that goes on. That's what one of the problems is with financial channels nowadays, especially the last decade. Since 2008, the financial channels have gotten so more in gear to be propaganda tools than they are about markets themselves. And so what we see here is you don't usually see a lot of clarity when it comes to CNBC or Bloomberg TV or Reuters or like the New York Times, and even the Wall Street Journal can get a little sloppy nowadays now that it's owned by Murdoch. It doesn't make sense. At times it literally is, it says two stories. No, the Wall Street Journal used to be a really interesting read. I read it for 40 some odd years. I read it for 40 some odd years, and it was a solid paper. When it said something's going down, more than likely it was going to go down. And when it said something was in favor, chances were it was going to build and go up in value. And nowadays it's just they have conflicting articles, and so it's like it's, you can love it and you can hate it. Well, guess what? Everybody knows that you can love it and hate it. So I had to give up the subscription after 40 some odd years. It was really sad because it was making no sense to me. I was like, what the hell are they trying to say? And so that's what the real problem is nowadays, is that most of the information you get on the financial networks is just propaganda. It's their point of view for political purposes, not for financial purposes. And that's a real disturbing thing there, but that's the way life goes. So here I am yakking away about markets with responsible accuracy with even a fact check spreadsheet. Right here on the left, that's what that Excel spreadsheet is. And you never see them go back and say, well, we were really bullish on this product and didn't realize that the company wasn't really making the money. What do you mean you didn't realize it wasn't making the money? You know, it's releasing information all the time. It is or it is not, you know. It's not a conjecture type thing. It's a fact, you know, data. Financial information is a fact. It's real numbers. And so you can see here, you can see what our predictions look like. We tell you on a weekly trend, you know, are we bullish on it or we're bearish on it? It tells you how long we've been bullish or bearish in the weeks. 14 weeks there for crude oil. We've been saying be long or be wrong. That's pretty much the way it goes. Now, does it go up and down every day? Of course it does. But over a week-to-week trend, and let's go over and take a peek at the crude oil since it's at like yearly highs. You know, we've been in a weekly buy since here. Each week, our math reconfirms it. And if it didn't, it would have us in a sell. You know, that's the way it works. And we'd have a little pink line here, or a pink line there. Now, does it go into a buy here? Does it go down after 4 or 5 days, or 2 days, or whatever? Sure. But what's the relative concept of it all in the end result? The real numbers? And that is, it's in an upwardly trend. Can you say this is in an upwardly trend? Does 14 weeks... If my spreadsheet had 14 on the weekly sell, wouldn't I be wrong? So then obviously we are right at Chicago Quant. And that's the way it works with a spreadsheet. Can we be right all the time? Nope. Can we be right maybe 8.5 out of 10 times? Yep. Back tested for over 90 years. It is what it is. And so, you know, Dukascopy lets us do our webinars unenhanced and not interrupted, and we're able to give the facts and the information and the reality, and we're willing to listen to all points of view. But that is, oh, look at that, look at the tape is going. Doc was on a run today. Hey George, let's see, in 47, hey 47, let's check out the CAD. Let's just jump there. I was just on a ramble. It's Friday. It's TGIF. I'm just in one of those modes, you know. There it is. They just cannot, you know, they tried to get it to go into the cell there on that one with the green dot. It didn't work. We are not really exactly exploding. We're in a weekly sell, so the overall trend since here this week, and we put it at the end of each week. So since the overall trend from this week has been sideways to down, and now they've lifted it back up to where it started from, and we're still in a weekly sell. So it is curious, and we're just waiting to see the next oh wait a minute, we never fixed that, did we? Just remove that and put it down below. We're waiting to see the next daily sell, that's all. Just waiting for the daily sell to occur. And or you know, you can see here with the weekly, it's not letting go, that's for sure. It just keeps on finding ways to chug up, go up, up and away in that beautiful, beautiful marketplace. Crude oil up over $1.50, and yeah, isn't that something? Hey, Alla, or we'll call you Keita. Keita, how you doing? Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you. Hey, 44, how you doing today? First thing, I got to know, Andrew Duke is Russian-born. Who is Andrew Duke? I don't know who Andrew Duke is. Where is Andrew Duke from? Is that a book, a reporter? What is it? Who is Andrew Duke? So now, how is it at Dukascopy? Let's see. Coming to my discussion, do you know Marwan? Maybe, I don't know. Marwan. Ashraf Marwan? Not particularly, no. I don't know who's Andrew Duke. I don't know who either one of those are. Are they just a wild guess because it's Andrew Duka? Is that the original creator of Dukascopy, possibly? Is that what that is? So I know how it is at Dukascopy. 1973. Is that when he was born, or when he started Dukascopy? I don't know much about Dukascopy, just that it's a subsidiary of Swiss. Egyptian spy. Oh, no, not particularly. um, what's that all about? I'm always open-minded. So, why are they? Do they run Dukascopy? Is that what you're saying? I'm curious. He is a celebrated as a hero in Egypt and Jerusalem. Okay, cool. Oh, I think I saw something on that. What was that? I saw. Wasn't there a mini series on the TV over here about that? Yeah, he was a wasn't he a diplomat? Didn't he work for the administration or something like that? In Egypt, and I guess like the military administration or something like that. He was part of that, and he was trying to warn them about what they were doing in October of '73. Is that what that was? He was of the view that Russia has flawed concept. Well, yeah, communism doesn't work. That we all know. If it did, the CCCP would be here. It's gone. And the CCP will sooner or later disappear. Yeah. Yeah, I saw a miniseries on him. I did. I did, now that you mention it. I did see that miniseries. That was about a year and a half ago. It was on Netflix or... trying to think what it was on. It might have been on Netflix. It was very entertaining. Yeah, in October of '73 for the October War, he tipped off the Israelis that something was coming. And they were having a hard time believing that it was going to happen. Well, they learned their lesson, didn't they? Primitives will be primitives. Maybe they should have like bones going through their nose or something like that. I don't know. Some type of prehistoric thing. So what's that got to do with trading at the moment? I'm curious. Does this relate to something? Because it does not reward a man's individual intuitive. We're getting deep here, aren't we? I think we're going to go back to trading, but we're willing to listen to what you have to say, but I don't know if there's any... How's that relate to the markets? 81, there was a ceasefire. Yes, again, how does that relate to the markets, though? Oh, wait, 81. What was 81? So, how does this relate to the markets? I'm always open to discussion, but not a discussion about politics that has no relations to financial markets. I love talking about politics, but only if it relates to financial markets. You see what I'm saying? 44? See, my view is Dukascopy will not work in long term. What do you mean won't work in long term? We're really more concerned about trading itself. And they're owned by a major Swiss bank. So are you saying that Swiss bank is going to go under or what? Is that your point of view of finance? Don't, because because they are confused on capitalism and socialism. Well, that's Europe. Europe is confused on all of it. So, all right, and that's why you don't see the growth in Europe. Europe is having its issues with growth, and commerce. Rob and I were talking about it. Look at. We follow the Zolty online. Where is it at? since you want to get into this type of conversation, we follow the Zolty right there, on line 16 on the fact check spreadsheet. See it right there? And the reason why we pay attention to it is about 3 or 4 years ago, Poland passed France as the second largest industrial nation on the continent because they're more capitalist, whereas France is more socialist. And so we started paying attention to Poland and the Zloty because it's a very steady currency. Let's put it up there. And that's the difference between, capitalism and socialism. That's why, think of it this way, the perfect example of it all. Not only is that a really great example, the Zloty, look how stable that currency is all the time. We'll scrunch it up. Look at that. Look how stable that currency is. Solid, stable. Now, and it trades in the market. It trades more Zloty a day, I think, than the Chinese yuan. The Chinese yuan is less than 2% of volume in the world markets today. So what's that tell you about China? It's all smoke and mirrors, right? And what are they? They're run by communists, right? So, yeah, I guess that's where you're at. So because they are confused. And yes, exactly. So if communism worked, there would be a CCCP today. And the only reason that there's a CCP that's so strong today is because the media loves socialism and the people involved are pushing it. So they try to tell us how great China is with their concentration camps and their re-education camps and their labor and their slave labor camps and so forth. So, yeah, I don't see socialism as a positive at all. Will it last longer? I guess as long as people will put up with it. I guess that's about it. But financially, that's why we don't see the growth in Europe. And that's a real disappointment. We were really hoping when the European Union was put together that it was going to be a very competitive capitalist system. Instead, it's not. It's turned into some type of, I don't know, incubation, or a crib where you put a baby. It's turned into something that's not really growing. It's kind of more like something that's small and weak, needs to be protected. That's the way I look at Europe, at least. And then you see the little explosions of thought and freedom in the eastern part of the European Union now, like Poland and Slovakia and Hungary and Czech Republic, and even Albania is starting to turn into the positive, and you see it going on in Romania and so forth. You see the more capitalism starting to try to evolve. So, oh yeah, me too. I am totally pro-capitalism. I would really love to see the yuan float, the Chinese yuan float freely as a currency. I would love to see that. That would make a lot more sense. I bet their numbers would be totally different. I bet their GDP would be down like to 2% and 3%, 1.5%, stuff like that. I'd imagine that it would be a much more apples to apples measurement. When you're looking at probably one of the things that Janos was dealing with when he was having problems documenting. Janos was working on the idea of how do you trade fundamental news, and he was really good at categorizing it and putting it together and explaining it. And probably the great downfall of trying to use fundamental news is the fake data that's out there. The data that's hiding. We get it everywhere. So that probably really hurts the capitalist side of it all, in the sense of you're not seeing the real data. Hence, they should have fact-check spreadsheets like us every day. China wouldn't have grown the past if it didn't adopt capitalism for their advantage. No, it wasn't as much as they adapted it. China, 47, what it really came down to is that the U.S. in particular thought that if they could align more with China away from the Soviet Union, it would break the Soviet Union. And it did. But then the Chinese communists were doing things that were not exactly any better than what the CCP was doing. And so they didn't stop, and they should have. And they fed it to the point where they were feeding $400 and $500 billion a year of commerce into China. And when you have that type of cash flow, you can do a lot of things. Yeah, it was a big mistake as far as I'm concerned. I mean, it was okay in the beginning. It made sense. But once the CCP had gone bankrupt, there was no reason to force feed China to grow. Yeah, and see if they would adapt democratic capitalism, a democratic republic type stuff, and have a constitution, China could be the largest economy in the world. But they can't. Communism can't grow. It doesn't grow. It has to take money from something else to grow. That's what communism does. Unfortunately, that's how it works. It needs to take assets and resources away from one place and put it somewhere else in an institutional way. Whereas capitalism is supposed to be creative destruction. You allow everybody to do everything, and then what happens is the ones that are successful survive, and the ones that are not successful fail. Now, so Tesla Gigafactory in China is in China, Germany outside the U.S. I guess, I don't know. Doesn't he build something here too? He has some stuff out in California. He has a big thing out in California. Yeah, well, again, it's laws and look at Brussels and the conflict that goes on with Brussels and commerce. And Brussels creates regulations that slow the growth of business. And so what you get is, you get a slower economic growth, and that's why we don't see the euro. Let's go back to the euro for a second there. You see the euro, just stumbling along. Matter of fact, what is it? We went into a weekly sell here off of this week. This selling action here created a weekly sell. And that was in the 122 area, right? And it pretty much went sideways. Had its pops here and there, but overall went into the weekly buy here, and just 1 week, it's back into the sell again. In other words, there isn't a confidence that we're going to see growth in the European Union because of Brussels policies. You don't even elect the prime minister or president of the EU. It's more of a, I don't know. It's like an organizational structural thing. So, you see a lot of strange things that go on there. Remember, traders, we can keep on talking about this, and if anybody wants to see a particular product like oil or gold or or British pounds or whatever, just shout it out. We'll show it, and then we can keep the conversation going as long as 44 and 47 and so forth want to keep on talking about it, because we can look. It's very important. We want to know why the euro can't get going. When you go back over to, what is it? Okay. When you go over to the euro, let's put it up on the J4X and look at it long term. The problem with the euro is Brussels and the government. They slow growth. They tax to the point where they don't allow business to evolve, to become bigger businesses. The trick to growth is usually little companies, 5, 10 people. They build. Next thing you know, they're 100 people. Next thing you know, they're 1,000 people. If they're running a very successful operation. And then here's the monthly euro. Okay. It's going to load in there in a few seconds. And the problem is that they really hinder growth. Now there's the euro. And you can see this is going all the way back to, what is it? That's 2005, right? They create the euro, they get rid of the Deutschmark and the French franc, the French franc, and the Italian lira and so forth, and it runs up. It looks like the European Union is going to become functional. It gets up into the 160 area, and then the bureaucrats start to really take power and control. And you can see here, let's scroll that over. Um, you can see here that it all it does is once Brussels gets control of Europe, what's it do? The currency falls down. And we've seen times where it got down to. Remember, a lot of people in this webinar are always asking, when's it going to go to par? They think that it's at 119 and change, as you see on the screen there right now. A lot of people are thinking it's going to go to par one day. So, 44 says, see U.S. Nikkei, China equities made new high, but not DAX and CAC. Well, China didn't either. China is what? China is still, I think it's like 35-40% of all-time highs. And the Nikkei got up to what, 31,000? And the all-time high there is 39,000. So, whereas the stock market in the United States was at all-time highs no more than like 3 weeks ago. They haven't, was it 1993 was the all-time high in Japan, and I think the all-time high in China was about 10 years ago. Let's see if we can find a Chinese index. Let's look through the Dukascopy. There's the Chinese yuan. Let's see. So let's see. That's the German DAX, the dollar index, the EU stock 50. There's the British. There's the Hong Kong. I don't think we can even pay attention to Hong Kong at this point. Also, they I guess, look at that. They don't even have. We got to get something up there. Let's take a look at Hong Kong. Let's see what that's doing, since it's being pounded to death by the Chinese at this point. But the last I saw, okay, there we go. And this is a monthly chart. It topped out in 2018, and it has lost almost 28% down to here. It's climbing back up at the moment. It's at 29,000, and the all-time high is what, 34,000? What's that? Looks like 34,000. So it's still off. And that's Hong Kong. That's got nothing to do with China. China is only hindering that growth. And perfect example is Dukascopy doesn't even have the Shanghai A or B. So obviously, it's not even worthy a index to pay attention to. Is that what is it really saying? I don't see it here at all. Dukascopy doesn't even have it. And I'm sure we'll find it somewhere, but it's not a pretty picture. The last I saw it lose as much as 60% at one point, and it could be. I don't know. Let's take a look and see if we can find it. Right now, market calm. Euro Swiss is hitting pre-COVID levels. Cool. Let's take a look at that too. Euro Swiss. Didn't we just have that? And didn't I just change it? Oh, no, there it is right there. Okay, there's Euro Swiss. Yeah, look at that thing. It's been in a weekly buy here, then it went into the weekly sell there. There's your weekly sell. And then went back into the weekly buy, and then what? Is that a sell? That's a sell again there. So there and there. That's a buy, that's a sell, and then it's been in a buy for the move. So we're going to put these numbers in there for you. So there's the buy, and then this one's the sell. We're going to change the colors of those so you can see that. And then there's the buy again. Okay, so there we go. Was that a sell there too? It was close though. And there's the sell. Then it went into the buy again for just 1 week. And then it went back into the sell for 1 week. And then it went back into the buy. And it's still in the buy right now. Nope, not pink. Green, there it is. So the last 2 weeks it's been in a buy since the 108-ish area. And where are we at now? The 110-ish area. Oh, we got to fix that. Make that a solid line. There we go. We haven't looked at this since December. And let's see. There's the daily buy right there. And then it went into a sell Where's it going to sell? Right there. And then it went back into the buy right there. So that's the action of this. And it was in the sell for here, right? Yeah. Let's put a sell in there. And then went into the buy here. Well, it was in the sell. We had to wait for it to get there, but the daily told you there's the buy. There you go. So that's pretty cool, huh? The math picked it up as usual. And look at that sell-off. That was funny. Just the one day. And the second day, you know, it barely opened. It opened up and then went down and then lifted up and then closed in a buy. Right there. So that was the next day. Closed in a buy there again and caught that. So there's another winner chicken dinner. And you can't take shorts because why, traders? It was in a weekly buy. And now let's see if we can find a Chinese index. I want to find like the Shanghai index. I want to see where that's at. Let's see. China stock index. Let's see what it says. China stock index. Okay. You got the SSE composite, the Hang Seng. I want the Shanghai. I think the Shanghai is supposedly the real coup de grace. Hang Seng. Let's see. Asian stock markets. China Shanghai Composite Index, Market Index. Ooh, here we go. Now, what is that? That is... So, the Shanghai... What is it? Let's see if ETF. Let's see if we can find something about that. And then we'll put a symbol in and we'll put it up there. We'll be able to see what's going on there. And it's a good example of 44's thought about the idea that, you know, capitalism usually is more successful than socialism. Exactly. Let's see. So we're looking at the, where was it? The Shanghai ETF. Let's see if there's a Shanghai Composite ETF. And we'll be able to give you a good flavor with our mathematics. I used to follow one. It was like the FXI or something like that. Guide to China's Shanghai Composite Index. FXI, there it is. I haven't looked at it in years. Let's see. FXI. Let's find it. Let's go to here. Open. Open there. Put there. And let's put that in there. And we'll go where, I think it was like Daniel or something was looking at Minnesota mining and minerals or something. Let's make a copy of that. Copy. Where's it at? Right there. And file. Paste. And now, let's see if we still have the FXI in here. I really tried to clean up a lot of this stuff. FXI. Let's see. I guess not. Add a symbol. I must have erased it. FXI. Look up. And let's see. FXI Smart. There it is. And it's ARC. Now let's close that. There's that. Okay. And that. Okay. Okay, now, as far as I know, this product was its all-time high. Let's see if we can find what its all-time high is. I think its all-time high is 80 or 76 or something like that. So it's trading at 49.15. It has been lifting with the rest of the market, that's for sure. Now, where's that at? We'll just get this straightened out, and we'll go from there. And then we'll see if we can find another chart on it that shows us all the way back. So, let's see, right here. FXI. And if anybody wants to see anything, just let me know. Let's see, 2007, it hit 6,000. Okay, don't even need to do that then. All right. So, yeah, and so what is it trading now? It's trading at, okay. Yeah, so it's off about 50%, 30% still. Yeah. That's your answer. I agree. All right, traders. Where else should we go? Want to take a look at, anybody want to see anything particular? You know, metals or energies or... I think we started off looking at the crude oil, didn't we? After we jumped from the currencies. I'm going to close this, save this workspace like so. There we are. Matter of fact, let's see what coffee looks like. Coffee's been moving down on the ETF. That's kind of neat. Let's see. Reload. 1 week. It's playing with the weekly sell. It's been in the daily sell since, I guess, it's got to be moved over right there like that. Went into the daily sell here. It's going down. It wasn't a weekly buy, but you can't be long it because we're in a daily sell. And so, and it was interesting. It was very short-lived. The daily buy took it up, but we were in a weekly sell at the time. So, you know, now we're coming back down again. Just got to follow the numbers in the end result. That's all we do around here. So that is that. Let's move that down. And that is the coffee for some of you who are following the coffee. Let's see, where is that? Right there. And then I guess we can take a look at the dollar index since we're here. There's the UUP. Still acting very firm and strong. That's why the pairs trades are showing strength in the dollar side of them. There we are. Yeah, so high of 6,000 in 2007. 2015 it was at 42. Interesting. Now at 3,000 or 3,500. Huh. Well, at least it's trying to climb back up. That's a good thing. And let's see. What else is there? So here we're looking at. Let's see what silver's doing. Silver's they just don't seem to be able to get this metals. It's gonna close in another weekly sell again. I think it's 9 weeks now. Where is it on the fact check spreadsheet? Line 8. No, line 9. So it's 8 weeks in a weekly sell. It's going to be 9 now. Look at this. But it hasn't really gone anywhere. I mean, went into the weekly sell on this week here. It really hasn't gone. I mean, you had to rip your face off Reddit vigilantes. And here it is down at the lows again. Poor silver cannot get going. And then let's take a look at gold. I saw gold was under 18? I think it was 18. No, 17. Look at it. Gold's down in the underneath 1,700 now. We've been in the daily sell from here. That was I would put sign up there about bad data because that dot there. They added information after the fact. We went into the sell and a day or two later they put some data in. We don't care. All right, we know that in the end result our math will be right more than their fake data. And you can see here we've been in the weekly sell since this week right there in the 19s. So it's really been smackadoodle city. It's dropped 200 points since we went into a weekly sell. Got to have those fact check spreadsheets, you know, traders. If someone is willing to tell you about their opinion about a marketplace, they've got to have a fact check spreadsheet. You want to see their productivity. And then copper. Now copper's popping today, and it doesn't look like it's going to disturb the weekly. You can see that there. Went into the sell there yesterday. Oh no, I guess it was in a sell from here. So it wasn't able to get into a buy. And today they're flirting with the buy. So they're starting to turn it back up again. Right there. So copper's been fascinating in that aspect. You know, we went into the weekly buy here, and that was neat. And that was a really neat move. And it gave us a good warning sign. There was some selling coming in. Boy, it was a little crazy action. Over and sloppy, but in the end result, now it's starting to flirt with the buy side of it again. Let's see, let's save that. And that's the metals complex. And then, of course, our platinum pal. I mean, platinum has been funaroo. Let's see, where's platinum? We'll just take a look at it on the. Just take a look at it on the. There we go. Whoop. Right there. Let's see what platinum's doing. Right there, there's April platinum. So it's trading at what is that? 11,290. I guess that's what it is. Yeah. No, wait a minute. There's 1,200. That's $1,130. Okay, minus 1,600 or like 1,700. So what's that? 1,700, and that is 670. Is that right? No, 11 from 16 is 565. So the spread's at 565. So we went down to 496, and now we're at 565. But we came down from 1,000 on the platinum gold spread, and so that's been pretty good too. We've been a winner chicken dinner there. And then let's take a look at the natural gas. Natural gas, I think, went into sell. Yeah, it went into sell there yesterday, starting to get its game together. It's in a weekly sell. You know, it's going to hold up into a second week of the weekly sell. Then drifting over to, let's see, so that's metals and that's energies. So then, oh wow, did everybody hear about the 10-year bond? It was like they were doing a repo in the middle of the night or something. It went down to like -4 or some crazy number. And now it's back to norm. Let's just take a look at the futures contract in that. Let's just go to the bond market there. There's the 10-year. Now the futures contract is not even reflecting what happened in the marketplace. Just that we're in a daily sell from there, and it went down. And we're in a weekly sell since up in here. So our math has picked up the selling. So that's cool. What's that say on the fact check spreadsheet? On a line 11, we are 4 weeks in a sell, going to be a fifth. And then let's take a look at the 30-year, because 30-year is being paid attention to. A lot of people are paying attention to that. And so that went into a sell there last night, and it's still pressuring down. And it's been in a weekly sell also from that point back there 4 weeks ago. I don't know why it's not filling in. Not enough data or something. We'll have to hunt that down. Let's grab a hold of that weekly quant. There we are. So that's the action we're seeing there with the 30-year. There we are. 30-year. Now we can take a look at the stock indices. Since we were looking at China and Japan, there's the NASDAQ, which is on Dukascopy is the Tech 100. Oh, can't see, can you? There we are. So it's going to stay in the weekly sell for another week. So we started this week off up in here in a sell, and it broke down finally. Cool. And then, let's see, NQs. Let's save that. Let's look at the S&P 500. It's probably looking funnish. This is like the global index. I mean, these companies in there are 50% of them are American, the other 50% are from other countries. And so you can see here, it's been in the sell since this point up in here. This week, I guess it is. That week, put it into the sell from the 39s, and now we're down into the 37s. Again, winner, winner, chicken dinner. Can't make this stuff up. It's fact, not fiction, traders. Chicago Quant usually has the trend correct. And that is so cool. That's why we can do a webinar and be confident of disseminating these stats solely because they are factual. And it's right there every day. You don't have to ask anybody. You can just go up on YouTube and there they are. And then the Dow, you can see here the Dow is really fighting it. They went into the weekly sell last week from up in here. And look at this thing. It's trying to get back into the weekly buy. The old golden oldies, they refuse to let it go. Now, we've been in the daily sell since up in here. That should be, I'm not sure what happened with that. What's a green dot? That's another bad data thing. Because it closed in a daily sell and has stayed in it basically since. So, matter of fact, I should fix that. Cancel. And let's do this. Instead of putting something in there, it says, bad. Just get rid of it like that. Make it red. That's what it was when we declared it. It's so irritating to see it that way. And so that's the action we're seeing there. So that is the stock indices. Oh, and what's been amazing is the Russell 2000. It has been entertaining, if nothing else. I mean, it's been wild and woolly. Right there. There's the Russell 2000. We went to the weekly sell up in here also. And the daily sell, I guess, right there. Let's put that in there. And it's been rolled over. And there was the daily buy right there. 1, 2, 3. 3 back. So right there. That was the daily buy. Gave you a head fake the next day. And then gave you the win up there. But it depends on your money management skill set. Let's see. 10-year bond yield. 1.577. Isn't it amazing? I know. It's been like everywhere. It's been like, 1.43, 1.5. Like, I think it went to 1.60, then it went back down to 1.43, 1.44 in the last week. Now it's at 1.57. I mean, it's hot and heavy. No wonder the yen going to 110 and beyond. Let's take a look and see. Let's see how the yen looks. Let's see, right there. Oh, let's save this. And, I want that to be part of the title today, too. Let's make sure that's part of the title. The Euro Swiss. That's cool. Because we had a chance to do that. And we're going to jump over now to, let me just put this in. I have to write this down to remember. Okay, let's take a look at the yen. Right there and right there. As you can see there, that strength has been going on for a while, It doesn't let go. Let's see, right there. And Swiss. There we go. Yeah, it just doesn't let go, does it? I just want to see something here. Yeah, Swiss, okay. And so we've been in a daily buy since here. And we've been in the weekly buy since back here in the weekly long trend. Again, traders, is this spot right here higher than that one? Or is this one higher than that one? Or is this one higher than that one? It's just simple facts, Fact check spread and go over to the fact check spreadsheet. Line, where is it? Line 17, is it? No. Where's it at? Right. Oh, line 19. There it is, right there. 8 weeks in a weekly buy, 7 days in a daily buy. I mean, how many market technicians and newsletter writers put their facts on the front page every day, live? Your math is saying the dollar yen is going to 115 minimum in 3 to 4 months. Cool. As long as we're in a weekly buy and a daily buy, I'm right there with you. We just follow the math. So, when's the last time it's been up this high? Okay, so there's, what is it? Where's it at now? It's at 108. Okay, so let's move this line up like that. It's at 108. So when's the last time we were at 108? There it is. Back in July. And it was over it in June. And it was back over it again in, was that March? Got up to the 111s, right? What's the highs? Yeah, 111's almost 112. And then, oh yeah, wait a minute there. What's that? That's a high of 110. Ooh, okay, there's the 112s. When's the last time it was at 115? What are you saying it's going to be? Oh, 110 to 115 target. Yeah, exactly. You could do that. There's 112 again. Back in, not the saddle again. That's back in 2018, the 112s. Yep, I hear you. I agree. As long as we're in a weekly buy and a daily buy, I'm on the same side of the race with you. Stop loss 106, yeah. All right. Good money management always works, traders. Let's see. What else? Anybody else interested in anything particular? I think we'll put that up on as a title also. What was that? Dollar yen. I think that's cool. Whoop. Where'd that go? And then, let's see. How do I do that? I go like that. Yeah, there it is. So dollar yen. Oop, nope. Let's do that. Clean that mess up. So dollar yen also looking awful firm. JPY. Yeah. What else we got going, traders? Anybody interested in anything particular? It is Friday. Hooray! Hooray! TGIF. Thank goodness it's Friday. Hooray! And then we were looking at that yesterday, weren't we? Let's just look at it again for fun. Did it go in? Let's see. So it went into the buy there. I guess. Why is that up there? Let's move it down. Back in the buy again. And you can see here it's in a weekly buy for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Going to be an 8th week in a buy. Is the product trading at 193.80, higher than 188. I would think 188 is less than 193. So again, success. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. All right, now where do we go from here, traders? Anybody want to see anything particular? Let's see what my one of my favorites, the Russian ruble. At least it's a floating product. You know, it's not like the China yuan. You can actually see it trade. Now look at all the ins and outs of late. Went into a nice long sell here. Then went into the buy and caught a nice little hump for a couple weeks. Then went into the sell kind of late into the action, no doubt. I mean, the daily sell was like right there. I remember saying that to the traders too at the time. Right there. There was the daily sell. So you couldn't be long anymore, that's for sure, up in here. And the daily buy had kicked in something like back in here, I think it was. Right there? Yeah, right there. Was that a sell right there? Nope. Look at that. Plot 1 is ZZZ. So it was not in a sell. So that was the buy. Went into the weekly buy here at the end of that week. You could be long the whole move. And now it's kind of bouncing around. Now it's the second week in a sell. We went into a buy. No, we couldn't get into the buy because of the red and the dot. At a red and green dots. So it's still in the sell. Let's just refresh that. There it is. And so we went into the sell here. That one. Oh, let's see. Right there. So there was the ruble. It slipped into the sell. That lasted for a day or two, right? And then we're in a weekly sell, so you can't take the buy. That would be right there. You can move that over. But you can't take it because we're in a sell. Ah! Yeah, we did the copper. Check this out. It's trying to climb into the daily buy again. Right there. See that? And we're still holding up in the weekly buy. Right there. Yeah. It's looking good, you know. Oh, I see you asked that question up top. Sorry, I missed that. I was on my rampage about yen and being accurate. And so, yeah, look at that. Copper's coming back to life again. It was a nice little sell-off, you know. Got into that daily buy. Look at that. Went into a rampage. Went from 380 up to 420. Got it as high as, what, 433. What's that, 53-cent move? Wow. And a weekly buy. 3, 4, going to be 5 right there. All right, traders. Anybody want to see anything else? If not, we will get out of here. It was an interesting conversation, 44. Thank you for looking at the nuts and bolts of marketplace. That is good economic policies that allow businesses to grow is always going to be better than bureaucrats trying to tell us what is the best thing for us. In other words, adult supervision is a lot better than taking adults and treating them like children. All right, traders. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. And remember, traders, be safe, be smart,